An update now to a story you've seen only on News 5. Thursday night, we told you about a terrible crash on County Road 32 in Summerdale that sent 5 people to the hospital. This is video from the scene involving a minivan and pickup truck. As you can see, the force of the crash completely crushed one side of the van, trapping 2 children, a boy and girl. Both badly injured, but the little boy John took most of the impact. A man headed home came up on the accident and jumped into action, pulling John from the wreckage.
There was debris all over him. The side panel of the van had crumpled in on top of him. And I wouldn't call it any kind of superhuman strength or anything like that, but just the franticness of the situation. I had tears running down my face the whole time. I mean, all I could think was this little kid, you know, his face swollen, his lips turning blue, and every time that we'd breathe into him, after a couple of breaths and we started getting him breathing and he'd go in and out, every time he would just moan. But his eyes were rolled back in his head. He had no consciousness, but it was like you could feel the pain in the kid. It was just one of those moments in your life where you do something and you get connected to a person without even talking to them or realizing who they are. You know, I have a bond with that child now, and I'd like to know that he's okay.
Now, the child still has a long road ahead of him, but the good news is John will be okay. News 5's Ashley Knight talked with his parents. They say it's a miracle their son is still alive.
Carol Peed saw the pickup out of the corner of her eye.
So I told my children, hold on, we might get hit.
She had just gone through this intersection Thursday when the pickup came barreling through from the right, slamming into the back end of their minivan. Her daughter Maddie and her son John were both injured. The airbags never deployed.
I crawled out of the mid window to check on John. I saw that I watched him pass out.
Their daughter Maddie suffered a concussion, a bruised lung, and ligament damage. The couple raced here to Sacred Heart in Pensacola, where they were met by the hospital chaplain just inside the doors. He told them their daughter would be all right, but it was a different story for their son John.
He said, you know, we can't say what's going to happen right now, but it doesn't look good.
John's abdomen had filled with blood, and doctors discovered a torn spleen. It all took a noticeable emotional toll on Carol.
There are just no words to describe it. When you're torn between your 2 children who both need you desperately. When you're standing in between the 2 rooms and you can hear alarms going off in both rooms and you just don't know which way to go. You just have to find strength somewhere.
Meanwhile, word spread to their friends, family, and church community.
All over the world that are praying right now and have been praying since this happened. Every few hours we get an update that John's doing better. John's doing better.
John is now able to respond to verbal commands, and Maddie was placed in a cervical collar and is now able to walk short distances and eat normal food.
Then I hear a knock at the door, and they're wheeling Madeline in a wheelchair into the waiting room to see everyone. And Madeline just had the biggest smile on her face.
They hope to wake John from his medically induced coma on Wednesday, and after that it'll be another 1 to 3 weeks in the hospital. In Pensacola, Ashley Knight, News 5.
The family has set up a GoFundMe page to donate. You can find a link to the page on our website, WKRG.com.